Good morning and welcome to the Crucible, where we're still recovering from the incredible drama last night when qualifier Ben Wollaston knocked out four-time world champion Mark Selby in the early hours of this morning. But that match completed the action in round one of the Halo World Snooker Championship. It's all systems go for round two, and here are the players still left in the last 16. And here's a look at the draw for the last 16. Now, in the top half, there's only one former world champion. That is the seven-time Crucible King, Ronnie O'Sullivan. But there are 5 qualifiers in the top half. In the bottom half, there are 5 former world champions, but only one qualifier. That's Hussein Vafai, who knocked out Barry Hawkins in round 1. And one of those former champions in the bottom half of the draw is 2005 champion Shaun Murphy, who's alongside me on the Crucible floor tonight. Shaun, last night you were obviously involved watching, commentating on Selby Wollaston. What did you make of it all?
Well, it was enthralling, wasn't it? It was amazing to see, you know, Ben Wollaston, who's not been here for so long. He had his family all here. Such a magical night for him. Get through in the end. It was a really hard-fought, tough match. Typical Mark Selby. He didn't want to give up. We were saying all afternoon he'd had problems with his cue, problems with his tip. Somehow managed to get right to the end. But in the end, it was Ben Wollaston who came through.
Yeah, one of the best nights of his career, no doubt. Boring presenters like myself spend time working out little bits of information, and I said, oh, 5 former world champions in one half, only one former champion in the other. So to me, and to I think few other people, you'd say the top half of the draw looks slightly easier than the bottom half. You're obviously in what seemingly is the tougher half.
Yeah, it does look that way, but thankfully, you know, it's not played on paper. You know, but when you get out here, the Crucible can do funny things to you. You know, just being stood near this trophy makes me feel a little bit funny. So when you come out here and play, it becomes a lot more difficult. You don't really tend to get involved in the draw as the player. You just get involved in who you're playing next, get stuck into the match and hopefully get through.
All right, let's show you what's coming up today across the BBC. And, of course, this morning it's Mark Allen and Chris Wakelin in session 2 and the start of Mark Williams against Hussein Vafai. This afternoon it's Li Peifan and Zhao Xintong. They start their match, and it's session 2 of John Higgins and Zhao Gudong. Mark Allen and Chris Wakelin will come back to complete their match tonight, and Mark Williams and Hussein Vafai continue theirs. Let's focus on Mark Allen against Chris Wakelin first of all. Mark Allen spoke before coming into this event about doing as best as you can in the bad sessions. He had an awkward first session in the first round match, another tough one in this one.
Yeah, he's you know, I kind of want to say he's played himself into trouble, but I think that's a bit unfair on Mark. I thought Chris Wakelin was excellent in their first session. You know, never been out into this situation before. Totally uncharted waters for Chris Wakelin. Probably never played a best of 25 in practice, let alone in tournament play. Playing it over those 3 sessions. And what a start he made. 6-2 advantage coming into this second session. It was incredible.
I think we spoke about it after the first session of his match against Neil Robertson. The body language, the satisfaction, the seemingly strong belief in the way he's conducting himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is, we've said in commentary a couple of times, he's definitely the most improved player in the top end of the game in the last couple of seasons. The biggest thing that's changed, I'm sure there's been a few technical tweaks along the way, but it's up here. He now walks into a stage like this, thinking he belongs here, thinking he can win. That changes everything.
For Mark Allen, he's said he's taken inspiration from Rory McIlroy, obviously trying to get the Grand Slam in golf. He's desperate to win this title, to complete the Triple Crown. How much does that weigh on a player?
Yeah, very hard. You know, there's a lot of players looking for one of the Triple Crowns to complete their set. There's quite a few players stuck on 2. It's very, very hard to get the third one. This is the toughest of them all to win, and he's been trying for such a long time. He's had a wonderful career, let's not make any mistake about that. To win the World Championship would be the icing on his cake, but he's in trouble.
Mark Williams, obviously one of the greats, up against Hussein Vafai. Now, if we look at the head-to-head, it's entirely in favour of Mark Williams. But this is going to be a closer encounter, most people believe, than that particular scoreline suggests.
Yeah, Hussein Vafai, you know, he's a confidence player, he's an inspirational player, and we've seen enough of him over the years, haven't we, to know that if he gets his tail up, if he runs off into the distance, he could beat anybody. Of course, Mark Williams has got every trick in the book, hasn't he? He's created some tricks, and he got tactics that we probably haven't seen yet. So I expect it to be a very hard-fought, very close game, and I'm looking forward to seeing who comes out on top.
Because of the two types of personalities you referred to, I think that's one of the reasons why Mark Williams has dominated. Hussein wears his heart on his sleeve, very emotional, whereas Mark Williams, he has got all the tricks in the book. He can cope with anything.
Yeah, one of the unteachable things is temperament. Mark Williams has got the best temperament in the sport. You'd never know if he was winning or losing, and that's what's made him such a great champion over the years.
Two outstanding, fascinating games this morning. Mark Allen against Chris Wakelin, and the start of Mark Williams, a three-time former champion, up against Iran's Hussein Vafai. The players are waiting backstage, ready to go for this morning's session. Let's head over and join our MC, Rob Walker.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. After 6 superb days of action, at last we are down to 16. And what an incredible lineup. A record 6 Chinese players have made it through, 6 former champions still in contention, and a record number of first-round centuries. Welcome to what's turning out to be a blockbuster edition of the Halo World Snooker Championship. Here we go, with a fabulous Friday at the sport's spiritual home, the one and only Crucible. Please welcome a player enjoying the most extraordinary season of his career. International Championship finalist in October, Masters debutant in January, and here in the second round of the Crucible for the first time in his life. He has never been playing better. Please welcome the wonderful Chris Wakelin. His opponent, one of the most prolific winners of the last 3 seasons. He's a UK champion, he's a Masters champion, and a man as determined as he is talented. Making his 14th appearance in the second round, he will come out blasting this morning, the pride of Northern Ireland. He's Mark, the Pistol, Allen.
Can't stop, addicted to the shindig. Chop, chop, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to like of imitation. Just get closer to the reservation. We bump the pistol that you play for. This bump the feeling that you stay for. In time I want to be your best friend. Inside love is living on the west end. Knocked out before you better come to.
And now to a player who stormed through the qualifiers and came from behind to beat former finalist Hawkins in a huge decider. Here he is, emerging for his second appearance in the last 16. A UK semi-finalist, a shootout champion, and the only Iranian ever to appear on the biggest stage of all. He's the Prince of Persia. He's Hussein Vafai. And finally, to a man who woke up on his 50th birthday last month to find he is still in the world's top 5. The hair is gone, the eyes are playing up, but make no mistake, he remains one of our all-time greats, and he's still very much at the peak of his powers. The reigning champion of champions, the irrepressible, irreplaceable Mark J. Williams.